So we're going to call this hearing to order. The Assembly Transportation Committee is called to order right now. We don't have a quorum yet, but we are going to operate in the capacity of a subcommittee. Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Frazier.
Here.
Linder.
Here.
Baker. Here. Bloom. Brown. Chu. Daly. Here. Dodd. Eduardo Garcia. Gomez. Here. Kim. Here. Mathis. Medina. Here. Melendez. Here. Nazarian. O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. Gomez. You made us have a quorum. We're going to go on to announcements, measures on consent. We have file item number 6, AB 1858, file item number 10, AB 2034, file item 16, AB 2196, file item number 17, AB 2289, file item 20, AB 2411, file item number 24, AB 2682. Is there any members of the committee that would like to pull any of these items from the consent calendar? Move the consent calendar. Second. So we have a first and a second, Mr. Linder, and second by Ms. Baker. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Frazier.
Aye.
Frazier, aye. Linder.
Aye.
Linder, aye. Baker. Baker, aye. Bloom. Brown. Chu. Daly. Aye. Daly, aye. Dodd. Eduardo Garcia. Eduardo Garcia, aye. Gomez. Kim. Kim, I. Mathis. Medina. Aye. Medina, I. Melendez. Melendez, I. Nazarian. O'Donnell. Bloom, aye. Bloom, aye.
Thank you. We'll leave that roll open for the absent members. We'll move on to measures that have been pulled off the file. File item number 2, AB 1641. File item number 3, AB 1777, and file item number 8, 1946, were pulled by the authors. So we'll move on to our order of business, and we're going to go out of sequence, and I'd like to be able to call Madam Speaker Emeritus Atkins, AB 2075. Good afternoon. Thank you. Present when you're ready.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for the courtesy. I really appreciate it. I'm here, Mr. Chairman and members, to present AB 2075. We will enable the cities of Imperial Beach, San Diego, and Coronado at their discretion and their timing to pursue discussions with Caltrans on a potential relinquishment of State Route 75, which passes through all three cities. If you've visited San Diego and driven over the San Diego-Coronado Bridge from Interstate 5 in the city of San Diego into Coronado and then down the Silver Strand into Imperial Beach, where you can get back onto Interstate 5, you've experienced State Highway 75. In order for the city to seek relinquishment of a state highway within its city limits, of course, the California Transportation Commission must be authorized to relinquish specific portions of a state highway through state legislation. So AB 2075 would enable the cities of Coronado, Imperial Beach, or San Diego at their discretion to seek relinquishment of their individual portion of State Route 75. If only one city decides to seek relinquishment of the segment of SR 75, no other city is required to initiate relinquishment. There's no time limit and no requirement that any of the three cities pursue relinquishment now or at any time in the future. But passage of AB 2075 is an important first step in the process and allows both an interested city and Caltrans to engage in studies of the segment of the highway under discussion, and negotiations that, if successful, would ultimately lead to a signed agreement that must be approved by both the California Transportation Commission and the City Council requesting such action. A copy of the resolution is then filed with the county recorder. Currently, only the city of Imperial Beach has entered into discussions with Caltrans on a potential relinquishment. In November of 2015, the Imperial Beach City Council voted 4-0 in support of state legislation to enable the city to request and process a relinquishment of portions of State Highway 75. A little over 1 mile of the 13.5-mile state highway is in Imperial Beach, but it's an important mile in the city's plans to develop the area. According to a recent Caltrans analysis of the highway, much of State Route 75 operates like a city street. I'm sure you've heard that before, rather than a state highway with its on-street parking and numerous driveways. So to address concerns expressed by the Coronado Mayor and Council, I will be amending the bill to clarify that relinquishment is a mutual agreement by both the city and the state, and that no state agency can impose a relinquishment on a local jurisdiction. AB 275 is an important district bill in my district, and I would respectfully ask for your support, Mr. Chairman and members.
So we do have a first and second. Madam Speaker Emeritus, do you have any members of the public that are testifying on behalf?
No.
Okay. Are there any members of the public that would like to speak on behalf of this bill? Seeing none, are there any members of the public that would like to speak in opposition to the author's bill? Seeing none, any committee members have any questions of the author? So we do have a first and a second, Assemblymember Melendez and second by Assemblymember Baker. Madam Speaker Emeritus, would you like to close?
Respectfully ask for an aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Completely agree with what you're trying to accomplish here. This is something that's essential that locals have the ability to, they know best of what's going on in their communities, and relinquishing this is, I fully support. So I appreciate you bringing this forward. Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Frazier, I'm sorry. The motion is due pass to the Assembly Appropriations Committee. Frazier?
Aye.
Frazier, aye. Linder?
Aye.
Linder, aye. Baker? Baker, aye. Bloom?
Aye.
Bloom, aye. Brown? Aye. Brown, aye. Chu? Daly? Aye. Daly, aye. Dodd? Eduardo Garcia? Eduardo Garcia, aye. Gomez? Kim? Aye. Kim, aye. Mathis? Aye. Mathis, aye. Medina? Aye. Medina, aye. Melendez? Melendez, aye. Nazarian? O'Donnell.
The bill has 11. It's out. We'll leave the roll open for absent members, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Assemblymember Bonilla, please. File item 1, AB 1591. 1592, excuse me. 1591 is just the transportation funding bill. That's all.
You work that in wherever you can.
Freudian slip, I apologize. But
well, thank you very
please
much.
proceed when you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. I present you AB 1592, which enables the Contra Costa Transportation Authority to conduct a pilot project for the testing of autonomous vehicles not equipped with a steering wheel, a brake pedal, or an operator. Autonomous vehicles and connected vehicle technologies are developing at a very rapid pace, and states such as Texas, Michigan, Nevada, and Arizona, and others have committed to supporting further testing and development of autonomous vehicles, and California currently lags behind. Autonomous vehicles are inevitably the future of transportation, and it will help increase road safety, improve mobility, and help us meet our climate goals. As a regional leader in transportation, the Contra Costa Transportation Authority developed Gomentum Station, which is the largest secure testing facility in the world. It's located within a former U.S. Navy weapons station in the city of Concord in my district. Currently, CCTA is hosting autonomous vehicle testing at the Gomentum Station, but they plan to expand their testing program to include a specific type of electric, low-speed, multi-passenger vehicle not equipped with a brake pedal, accelerator, or steering wheel or operator. These shuttle-like people movers have been tested and approved for public use in Europe and will be used for first and last mile transportation, connecting individuals to transit platforms and their places of business on a fixed route. The DMV is still drafting their final regulations for the deployment of autonomous vehicles on public roads. They do not authorize the operation of these autonomous vehicles that CCTA will be testing. And that's what AB 1592 seeks to remedy, is to remove the barrier to autonomous vehicle development by allowing CCTA to continue to cultivate safe, convenient, complementary and alternative modes of transportation at the Gomentum Station and a private business park in Contra Costa County. In order for our state to remain on the cutting edge of transportation technology and a breeding ground for further innovation and investment and future jobs and job development, it's imperative that we continue to support the growth of testing programs and advance autonomous and connected vehicle technology. Today I have Randy Iwasaki, the former director of Caltrans and current executive director of Contra Costa Transportation Authority, to speak in support of the bill.
Please proceed.
Second. Do I need to speak?
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, Chair Fraser. Good to see you, and committee members. Thank you for allowing me to be here today to present AB 1592 with Assemblymember Bonilla. The Contra Costa Transportation Authority has been in the process of updating our countywide transportation plan these past few years and have spent considerable time and effort gathering the public information on their transportation priorities and conducting several polls. And what we hear over and over again is the need to provide a first and last mile solution to transit centers and BART stations. Many people in our suburban county want or need to take the bus or BART, but don't live within walking distance to a transit station and don't drive or can't find parking at our busy stations. This issue of connectivity is one that we know we need to solve in order to address the congestion that plagues our county. I've been in the transportation world for a while, and I can tell you that we are at a point in California with our current climate goals. It is going to be difficult to solve congestion by building or widening our freeways. In my opinion, technology and innovation is how we're going to be able to improve our transportation, economic, and environmental future in both California and Contra Costa. So our team scoured the world to see what was being done to address first and last mile issues and came across the Easy Mile, which is a joint venture between a software company and a car manufacturer to develop and deploy shared autonomous vehicles to help bridge this gap in transportation system. This technology is already being deployed and operated in the Netherlands, Singapore, France, Spain, Finland, and Switzerland. We did our due diligence and met with Easy Mile as well as delegations from other countries where this technology is being deployed, like the Netherlands, France, and Singapore. Shared autonomous vehicles like the one we're hoping to test are designed to provide safe and efficient transportation over relatively short distances. These vehicles, which are capable of operating without a driver, steering wheel, or brake pedal, have room for 6 passengers to sit and an additional 6 passengers to stand. They are even able to accommodate a wheelchair. They are narrow enough and travel slowly enough, less than 25 miles per hour, that they can share space with bicycle and designated bike lanes. These shuttles are also powered by an electric motor, so there are 0 emissions. More importantly, there's a potential for shared autonomous vehicles to eventually fill the gaps in traditional public transportation with a focus on getting people from their homes to public transportation and from the last BART or RT stop to their destination. The small size and advanced technology of Easy Mile shuttles make them ideal for allowing flexible routes and addressing the first and last mile challenge of public transportation. Operating these vehicles as a complement to transit could provide a convenient way for customers to access larger fixed route types of public transit, like transit centers for express buses or commuter trains, without the frustration involved in trying to find parking at those busy stations. This would enable transit agencies and cities to expand access to transit without having to build massive, expensive parking structures. Instead of seeing parking lots full of cars at transit stations, you will now see buses, trains, and ferries full of travelers. Existing law permits the operation of an autonomous vehicle on public roads for testing purposes if, among other requirements, a driver is seated at the driver's seat and the vehicle has a brake pedal and a steering wheel. AB 1592 would enable testing of shared autonomous vehicles without a steering wheel, brake pedal, or driver at Gomentum Station, which currently does not require DMV approval for testing since the land is still controlled by the military. However, we're looking forward in anticipation of that facility being transferred to the city of Concord. We want to preserve the ability to test autonomous vehicles on those empty streets. This bill would, once the vehicles have been fully tested and met rigorous standards for safety, also enable testing at the 585-acre business park in Contra Costa. In order to traverse the entire length of the office park, the vehicle would have to cross public roads that are similar to how a golf cart sometimes has to cross a public road to get from one part of the golf course to the other. Autonomous vehicles are ushering a safer, greener, and more accessible future of mobility, and we're lucky enough to be seeing it firsthand in Contra Costa, being so close to Silicon Valley. Approving this bill is not about approving driverless technology. Driverless technology exists today. It's about approving jobs, helping the environment, and improving the quality of life for all Californians. This technology would effectively transform the day-to-day experience of commuters. Approving AB 1592 is a crucial step toward making the safe, low-cost, and flexible transportation mode available to California residents. By connecting commuters and larger forms of regional transit, such as Caltrains or BART, shared autonomous vehicles have the potential to improve safety and dramatically reduce parking and congestion issues. Approving AB 1592 also will serve to keep California on the cutting edge of ITS research, maintain its reputation as a state that fosters innovation. Thank you for your time, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Iwasaki. Is there any other members of the public that would like to testify in support of 1592?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Paul Gonzalez, representing the City of Concord. I'd like to thank the Assemblywoman for her leadership on this issue and ask for your support.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Vice Chairman. We echo the same support. Cornelius Burke with the Bay Area Council. We thank the author for her leadership.
Good afternoon, Danielle Lent on behalf of Allstate Insurance Company, also in strong support.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Keith Dunn on behalf of the Self-Help Counties Coalition. We have not yet got our letter in, but we're in very strong support of our member agency and Mr. Iwasaki's efforts in this.
Thank you.
Bill Higgins with the California Association of Councils of Government, exactly like the Self-Help Counties, in support.
Ditto. Okay, so any other members of the public that would like to speak on behalf? Seeing none. Any members of the public that would like to speak in opposition to the author's bill? Mr. Brode.
Mr. Chairman and members, Barry Broad on behalf of the Teamsters and the Amalgamated Transit Union. Harkening back to a previous technology, we have to say, whoa, Nelly, on this one. It's one thing to test an autonomous vehicle without a driver, a brake, or any way of stopping it in a completely private, enclosed place where there's no people or cars. It's a phenomenally stupid idea to test this in a location where there are cars. Only a few months after the Google vehicle bus hit another vehicle. And so it makes no sense to do that. And the current DMV regulations speak to that on public roads. I get it if it's a private place where you can bar the public, but this is untested technology. We're testing it. Why would we ever do it on a public road? So we think the bill ought to be amended to restrict it to a place where there's no public access to public highways. They don't have to do this at a business park. They can just do it at the naval weapons station in a place where they can bar public access altogether, unless the point is to see whether or not they hit vehicles or people as a part of the testing. So we would urge a no vote unless it's amended. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other members of the public? Please state your name and who you represent, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. Ignacio Hernandez on behalf of the Consumer Watchdog. We also have an opposed position and are concerned for some of the same reasons that were already stated by the previous witness. A couple of things. These are being tested. We believe that there's going to be tests that should be on closed circuit, closed campuses where there is no access to the public, and also it should be tested not on individuals, because these are driverless vehicles, but there will be, as we understand it, individuals in the vehicles themselves. And notwithstanding the importance for the first mile and the last mile, that's still a mile where individuals both on the vehicle and who will come in contact with the vehicle are put at risk. The DMV has been collecting disengagement numbers from the various companies that have been testing vehicles that have individuals there, drivers there, and brakes there, and we're finding a lot of incidents where there has to be disengagement from the automatic capacity of the vehicle. So we think that this may be the future, but it's not necessarily today. And I think that there's still a lot more testing that needs to be done, not on public roads, not in intersection with public roads, not with individuals in the vehicles, but to test it out in other ways on closed circuits. That would be the best way to do it, and this is just a bit premature. So for those reasons, we're opposed.
Thank you for that. Any other members of the public that have opposition to the author's bill? Seeing none. Committee questions. We have one from Assemblymember Baker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Member Bonilla, thank you for bringing forward this bill. It's a smart bill. It embraces innovation and embraces the future and exactly the needs that we have in our constituents, the business park, that you reference is in my district. It's one of the largest business parks in the Bay Area, has tens of thousands of jobs of people who are ready and hungry for this technology. It is one that we should be right now not waiting to be on just private roads that nobody can access, but actually employ this technology in our communities because people want that last mile. As Mr. Iwasaki mentioned, BART stations are full by 7:30 in the morning. The parking lots are full. People want this technology, and I really applaud you for bringing it forward. Sometimes when technology comes forward, folks may have a reactionary response, and I appreciate you being supportive of this. I'm pleased to be a co-author, and I urge an aye vote on the bill as well.
So we do have a first and a second. I believe it was Assemblymember Melendez, and second was by Mr. Mathis. Okay. Okay, well, we have seconds, thirds, and fourths. But we do have the appropriate motions. Ms. Bonilla, would you like to close?
Thank you very much, and thank you, Assemblymember Baker, for your support and your well-taken comments on the bill. It's the first time I think I've had a bill called exceptionally stupid, so thank you for saying that it was smart. Also, to the point of Quonelli, yes, we've moved beyond the horse and buggy, and we're continuing to move forward. So, it's going to happen. And if you read the bill carefully, you'll see that what it talks about is testing. And it talks about testing in an enclosed area, the Gomentum station. And one can rest assured that nothing would be happening out on even a private street without adequate testing and proving of this technology. The point is that at some time, we have to make this move. At some point in time, we have to actually crack the door open and make the transition. And we are hoping that this vehicle provides that. We believe that that this is very important timing, as we know the vehicles are going to be here and being tested this next year. And so we are working along with the DMV collaboratively as they are developing the regulations. We want to work with them to help make this transition, and we believe that this is a very reasonable request and one that is very, very necessary. So I want to thank you very much for your kind attention to the bill, and do ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Member Bonilla. I'm very pleased to support your bill, and I would say that you're anything but stupid. Quite the contrary. Once again, CCTA has demonstrated that they are the leader in the transportation innovation and the most important transportation authority in Contra Costa County. I look forward to taking a ride in one of these vehicles next year. I have done the tour for Google, and I have been part of the process in watching the industry grow and look for the opportunities that it affords. So I will be supporting your bill this year. And Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
The motion is do pass. Frazier?
Aye.
Frazier, aye. Linder? Aye. Linder, aye. Baker? Aye. Baker, aye. Bloom? Aye. Bloom, aye. Brown? Brown, aye. Chu? Aye. Chu, aye. Daly? Aye. Daly, aye. Dodd? Aye. Dodd, aye. Eduardo Garcia? Aye. Eduardo Garcia, aye. Gomez? Kim? Aye. Kim, aye. Mathis? Aye. Mathis, aye. Medina? Aye. Medina, aye. Melendez? Nazarian? O'Donnell.
So that is 12. It is out. We'll leave the roll open for absent members. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Holden, AB 2073, please. Good afternoon, sir. Proceed when you're ready.